G'day, Tragic here, and welcome back to Too Many Bones. This is day 2, or round 2, or session 2, or video 2. The point is, it is number 2. Bam. Now, before I get started, I got very confused with this trove loot thing here. I found it really confusing. Basically, this whole section of text made it look like you could roll many dice, but this little text here is the key to understanding loot, lock boxes. And I have to thank the guys on the forum, because I went to the forum to ask about this at Board Game Geek, and someone was already asking the exact same question. And that is the answer, this little paragraph. Lockbox must be solved from left to right. Locks you open will stay open even after future attempts. If you fail to open the starting lock of an attempt, you are able to make a second attempt immediately. So what this is basically saying is that when you do your lockbox attempts, you can only roll this once, okay? So if I roll and it's a failed attempt, if it's the first lock only, I get to re-roll everything. If it's still a fail, that's the end. If I pass the first lock, you know, some dice will be missing because I would have used them, so I'll get to roll these ones. If that fails, then that's the end, because it's the second attempt. And that's pretty much the way it works. So let's redo the trove loot chest from last turn. Let's just get her out of the way. And hopefully we'll unlock just as much. You blam, you blam. Oh, wow. So that was a fantastic roll. We have 2 leathers, and we only need 5 lever to win. So we've almost got it. So we need 1 more lever, and we do have this die here, which is convert, change the lock type to a different action type. So basically what that's saying is, that basically is really annoying, that we can change this into a lever. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lever, which means we've passed the first lock on our first roll, but we're now out of dice, so that is the end of that. So coming into this turn, we've unlocked 1 part of this and nothing else. Sweet. Now that we've done that correction, let's draw the next card and see what's happening. Special encounter, hardly out of the gates. We're just at the beginning, guys. 15 steps into the journey. 15 steps, come on. And already a gearlock boot is struck through by an arrow. Luckily, no toes were killed. Teeth are clenched, and a painful tug is made while looking around in embarrassment. Yow. Strange tense used in that paragraph. Now sufficiently ticked, it's time to return the favour to the ominous figures at the edge of the woods. A commotion breaks out atop the city wall, interrupting all thoughts. Guards have now spotted the brazen intruders and are notching their arrows. Their help is at the ready. Like it or not, this adventure is underway. Let's do this! Okay, so this is the choice. We have hail the guards for help. At the start of each round, arrows from the wall deal 1 true damage to each baddie. Boo. Second choice, it's time to show Obendar what gearlocks are made of. With Obendar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unassisted battle. Definitely going to do that. After either choice, if the battle is lost, place this encounter card back on top of the encounter deck. And this is what happens with a lot of encounters. If you fail, it goes back on here and it kind of delays you a day. Remember, we've only got 9 days to beat this. Now, what's interesting is that as well as the normal reward, which like we had last time, see how we had a progress point reward from the last quest, this one also gives us a skill point and it gives us a trove loot. But in addition, the actual choice itself, if we complete this successfully, give us a bonus skill point. So if we do the second one, we'll have 2 skill points and a trove loot. So, well, not a trove loot, but a loot. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. and it is a battle. So it's battle time. The way battle works is that we just times our day by the number of gear locks. So that is 8 because we have 4 players. And when you're whose dice is this? I think that is this guy's. Yeah, I just made it. I've been sort of fiddling with the mod just gradually. I do this with all mods, just sort of make it more to my taste. I just want to get these dice out of the way. And also I made a cool little tool here that allows me to easily rotate these dice. Remember how painful that was? That's actually a limitation in Tabletop Simulator. There's no way to rotate dice along the y-axis. So I just made a little tool and we rotate that and it rotates the dice. Anyway, where was I? I was confusing myself. Yes, 8 points. So we have to take, first we take a 5-pointer because we haven't got enough points for a 20-pointer. And we'll just place that out in the 1 slot. And it is a ball lurk. And then we have 3 points left, so they all come from the 1-point pile. So that goes in a 1 slot, goes into the 3 slot, and goes into the 4 slot. So we have a Griffin Yearling, 2 health points. And we have the ball lurk, which is 6 health points. And we have 2 dire wolf pups, which are both 3. And I keep forgetting. See, the way the game works is because the monsters can move around, they've got these little handy markers that you can stick on top of the stacks just to remind you. So after we do that, we've given them their health. We need to just check their initiatives. So the yellow, beg your pardon, is a 5 initiative. The blue is a 4. And these guys are both 3. 5 initiative is quite high. It goes from highest to lowest. And then we just need to place them in their positions. This guy is a melee, so he comes forward. This guy is a ranged, so he just stays where he is. And these guys are both melee, so they come forward. Oops. And that be the battle map. Now we just need to roll for our Gearlocks initiative. Come on, high numbers please. Okay, so this isn't a great roll. Could be a lot worse, I suppose. So we're going to take quite a lot of damage before we get the chance to do anything. So when numbers are even, you can choose which one goes first. So let's do 1, 1. That's a 3. What am I doing? Yeah, so terrible order here. Tink, Berserker, then we have the big guy, we have the archer, we have the 2 direwolves, and then we have the assassin. Not particularly great. So now I get to place these on the battlefield, depending on where I want to put them. Now the thing is, as you know, as you could probably tell from just looking, if you're timesing the number of days, you know, like, so say if we were at day 8, you know, 8 by 4, it's quite a lot of monsters. There's only 4 slots on the battle board, and that's because the rest of them get placed in a sort of what they call the baddie queue, which is just like another stack of these chips, but they will just keep coming like in waves until you've defeated them all. So what are we going to do here? These guys are melee. This dude he sort of has this weird ability called flight. So every time he attacks, he then flies into the air and becomes completely immune. And then the next time he attacks, he swoops down and loses this ability. So basically you can only ever hit him every second time. So it'd be good to try and kill that guy on the very first turn. But unfortunately, he's going to go first. No one rolled a 5 or a 6. So he's basically immune, so we can ignore him. So I think I'm going to stick this guy here. I'll leave my archer there, and I'm going to stick this guy here. Yeah, so that's going to be my setup. So Tink, by the way, even though Tink says melee ranged, he is actually melee. He can just be placed in the range slot, which is the back row. Okay, so now that we have done that, it is time to do our battle. For starters, this guy is going to attack. He is attacking with 2 dice. Bam. And he does 3 damage right off the bat. Wow. 1, 2, 3. That is horrible. And then he flies into the air. Man, so his rage starts at 1, and then he got 3 damage. So it's 1, 2, 3. He is already at 4. The 4 tick. That is huge. Man. Okay. And now his turn, so now it is Tink's. Now Tink is really, really cool because he's got his bot. We've already created the firing arm, which is going to come very in handy, and he has 4 dexterity. So the way this works is we're going to spend 1 dexterity to uptick his battery power. So he's now got a battery power of 2. And then we're going to spend another dexterity, so that's 2 dexterity we've spent to actually place him out. So this bot has 4 health, and he's going to be placed right here. Here, blam. Okay. So that's 2 of our dexterity has been used. And we have built him, so we have exhausted the build die. That means next time this gets rolled, it could be possibly be the wrong configuration for our gun. But we've still got 2 dexterity left. Now, I guess he could move or something, you know, there's not a lot he can really do. There's no real point in having him roll his defense die because no one can get to him. These guys won't attack him, this guy won't attack him, and this guy does poison, which is undefendable. It's like true damage. So he's going to use his last... So what he's actually going to do is he's going to use his 3rd one to have ticked this up 1 more point. He can put this up multiple times in 1 turn. It doesn't say anything about it. You can't do that. You may spend 1 dex to increase the bot's battery power by 1, increasing bot die. It doesn't say anything about you can employ it in an adjacent or diagonal position. It doesn't really say that you can't do more than 1 at once, right? Oh, once per turn. Once per turn, Tink may spend 1 dex to increase the battery. Okay, so yeah, we did that right the first time. So he may as well roll this, oh, wrong guy. He may as well roll his defense die just in case he gets a bone, I suppose. And let's roll. Boom. So he gets 1 defense die, which doesn't really help him. Plus, he has rolled 1 ranged attack. So, he's going to use that ranged attack to hit this guy here. And the bot himself is going to attack, which this ticks him down 1. And he does 1 automatic damage to this guy, which of course does 1 lashback damage to the bot. Sweet. Let's just copy another bag up there so it's a bit easier for me to get rid of the wounds. Okay, so to repeat, because he's one of the more complicated guys, we built the bot, right, which cost us 1 dexterity. We upticked the bot first, which cost us 1. So that was 2 dexterity. Then we rolled 2 dice. We rolled 1 was his defense die, and the other dice was actually part of the bot's attack for this turn, which was using his firearm attachment. And then the bot himself has his own attack, which is 1 damage, true damage. So we rolled 1 damage, and it's actually coming from the bot. Remember, this die is actually coming from the bot, not really from Tink. So, and it's actually different to, it's not a true ranged attack. It's its own thing. It actually says damage to any non-adjacent. So it can only hit non-adjacents, and adjacency in this game is done through orthogonal. So we used the firing arm to hit this guy for 1, and then we used the bot's attack to hit this guy for 1. So these guys are now at 2 health each. And then of course this guy hit him back for 1. So that's the end of that. Now it is this dude's turn. And I didn't think this through very clearly. He should have been here, because obviously this guy is now immune to damage, so I completely screwed that up. Okay, so let me think about this. He is at 4. We have a total of 3 bones. So yeah, he's gonna go 1, 2, and then attack the big guy for 1 attack, because he's only got dexterity 3. Come on, give us a high roll, please. Oh, we get a bone. But he did do an attack, which means this does uptick. It goes to 5, and as soon as it gets to here, we can now spend this rage for the icons on it. You can either, if you have multiple versions of rage, you can upgrade the dice. That's what the little arrow at the bottom there means. But see the little skull? That means instant kill. And a level 1 rage can only kill 1 point baddies. So we set this to 1. And we're going to use that to kill this guy straight up. We can't target the griffin, unfortunately. And that is going to give him a 1 tick on his body count. So it looks like he's probably going to die. I might cash in his body count right now as well. So we're going to cash that in straight away. Set it back to 0, and that gives him another health. So every time he kills someone, his body count ticks over, and then he can cash that in to get health back. Okay, now it is this bloke's turn, the poison guy. We didn't actually hit him, unfortunately. And everyone gets hit for 2 poison. 1, 2, 3, 4, except for the robot, who is, of course, immune. And now it is Archer's turn. How many wounds are on this guy? 2 on here. So I think what he's going to do is... He's got 2 attack and I don't want to use his multiple die just yet. So we're just going to roll his 2 attack. Ah, double miss. That is brutal. Wow. So he gets a double miss. Oh, brutal, brutal, brutal. Split targets. Okay. Select a new target after applying at least 1 die. So he misses completely. Horrible. And he's going to use his movement to move to here. That's his 3rd dexterity. And of course he is poisoned. I forgot about the poison. So he takes 1 damage from poison. And then this ticks down. Okay, the pink guy is dead. This guy attacks the closest target, which is him. He attacks with 1 dice. He misses, so the bot survives with no damage. Then finally we have our assassin. She starts off by getting 1 damage from poison. And then she's going to move once. And, oh dear, I guess she's going to attack. She only needs 2 damage to kill this monster. So she's going to attack the dire wolf pup. We really want her to kill. 2 damage, please. Yes, excellent. So that is 2 damage. 1, 2. The wolf pup is killed, and because it's killed, the lashback does not occur. And now, boom, we are back to the griffin. So the griffin swoops down. It has 2 movement. It can move pretty much anywhere. And it attacks the person who's the closest, which is poor old... This guy's going to die this turn. So he is now down, and then he rolls 2 attack dice. Wow, 4 damage. There's only 3 damage left, so he is gone. Wow. Nice work. And now it is this bloke's turn. Tink. He takes 1 damage from poison. So he has 4... He has 4 movement. He needs to roll this. So that needs 1. So he's got 3 die. So we can go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so he activates the bot for this round, which sets this bot to 0. So this is the last turn for the bot. It goes 1, 2, 3. And then he attacks. The bot attacks, automatically hitting this guy for 1. And we have 1 dex left over to activate his long-range gun, which does 2 damage, which we are going to use to take 2 damage off the main guy. And now this guy is not actually on the board anymore. Go away. So everyone's poison gets renewed. It doesn't stack, it just renews like that. And now we are back to our archer. And hopefully he's going to do a lot better this time. Let's give him another 2 dice. And he's going to use his multi-shot as well. No, come on. Let's get... Oh, we have another terrible miss. And we've got 3 now. Fortunate discovery. Select a consumable dice and place it in its skill slot. It is now available for use. Interesting. I'm going to leave that there for now, but we did do 2 damage, which is going to be enough. I've got to start remembering to articulate my my targets before I roll. But obviously we were going for the Griffin because he rolls 2 dice and he can make himself immune to damage. He also loses 1 more health because of poison. And now we have our Huntress and our Assassin. She also loses a health because of poison. Comes over here and attacks our main dude. She's used 1 movement, so she has 2 dice left. And she gets 2 hits. Beautiful. So it's 1, 2. And this is the 3rd round. I haven't been doing the round counters. So it's the next round. The Griffin is gone. So we go straight to him. He's got 4 dex. He's just going to take 1 wound, obviously, for poison. And then he's going to travel 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's his entire move. Poison gets renewed on everybody. And now it is our Hunter's turn to roll his dice again. You know what I might do? He's got 3 dexterity. I'm going to roll his extra mech leg this time. I'm kind of hoping... Come on, do something great. Bam! Well, okay, so we get another 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably should have waited until we were 5 before using that, but we did get 2 damage, which is enough to kill this guy. Now, this has to be discarded, so we may as well use it. Does damage, doesn't help. Lure away, doesn't help. Fortunate discovery, we're going to use this one. Select a consumable die and place it in its skill slot. It's now available for use. So I think I'm going to spend all these die and just get my Mechana leg back again. Right, and that is the end of that combat. Right, I'll just clean up now. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is re-roll our build. And then once we re-roll it, we can rotate this thing around to set it to anything you want. As you can see, it can only go to diagonal corners, this particular build. So unless we reconfigure that build, we won't be able to use the firing arm next time. This Raider armor is pretty useless for him because he is not getting hit by anything. Okay, and then she's coming back. She's got no dice to place because she's got nothing on her board. Lose that poison. And this goes back here, and that's the end of him as well. So Tantrum got KO'd, which means basically he just sits there now. And it's time to do the next step, which is rewards. So everybody gets 2 skills and a loot box, which is freaking awesome. And we did gain a progress. So starting with Tantrum, we'll get a loot. He gets a loot. She gets 2 loots because of her ability. And he gets a loot. What do you got, Tantrum? Fortune Discovery. So he can basically get a consumable die maxed out. Select one of your consumable skill dice and place it in its spot on your mat. It is now available for use. He's only got 1 that's not on the mat, so I guess he'll have to take that one. What has our archer got? Utility parts, nice. Unexhausted die. Oh, that is fantastic. Single use though. Let's take a single use button. And I'll just stick this here. You can have 4 of these cards. And what have you got? You got 2. Prying Iron. Add 2 to an action die result during your lockpick attempt. Interesting. Herbs. Heal yourself 1 hit point in battle. 3 uses. They're both really good. Considering we actually have a trove loot, I might actually take the Prying Iron. And what have you got? Boom. Red Minotaur. Ignore bones while making training attempts. Single use. Yeah, I don't like this Troll Brew. I'm going to get rid of it. I seem to have a problem with understanding how to best use that. So I'm going to take the Minotaur. Right, and that is the end of that. So that's that, and now we get to upgrade our actual stuff. So what did I really think was lacking for him? And I think it was actually not having a defense die and not having a dexterity die. So we're going to automatically upgrade dexterity, which is a free upgrade. And we're going to try and upgrade our defense die. So this is a free upgrade to dexterity 1. And we now need to roll this and hopefully not get a bone. Anything but a bone. We don't get a bone, so we now have 1 defense die. This comes off as well. Okay, so that's him upgraded. What are we going to do with this dude's upgrades? I think I would have liked to take... Let's have a look at his traps. We've got Rusted Spikes and Woven Snare. Hidden Rut. So Hidden Rut makes them unable to move, which is alright, I guess. I don't think that's going to do a lot of help on a 4-player game because the board's so tight. Woven Snare might be nice though. That is a minus attack value, it looks like. This one here, multi-arrow? No, that's this thing here. I really like multi-arrow. Marked enemy, maybe I should get that. Is that's a 3rd level. Brute Force is the next one. That allows me to push people around. That could actually be very cool. What is Woven Snare? It's like -1 sword with a little net symbol. Here it is. Snare. Reduce attack stat of this unit by 1 for the entire battle. Weird. So we're definitely going to take Woven Snare. I like Woven Snare. That is slot 2. It's got a couple of fails still. So that's 1 upgrade. And I think for his 2nd upgrade, he's going to take another dexterity, which is an automatic success. And she is going to take... Oh, we've got to take her sword ability. Where is it? Long blade, 10. What? Is that it there? 10. Found it. Dice 10. Yablam. So this is her long blade ability. This is basically a damage. So if I find it here. Extra damage. Add 1 damage. Add hash to the total damage applied to your target. So not bad. We're going to boost her up, make her all into a big, massive melee dude. And what's combat efficiency? That looks very cool as well. That's got a number of stuff. Recover hit points. Where's the feat? Here we are, feat. Move mobs. Shielding. The problem is we now have... I think the next one she's actually going to upgrade her straight up dexterity to allow her to roll extra dice. So now we're rolling 4 dice. We can roll attack, defense, and her sword. But if we gain the... if I got like, combat proficiency or something, I guess actually it's not that bad because these exhaust. So we don't want to end up with unused. Yeah, so actually what I am going to do is take combat proficiency. which is die 5. There it is. Okay, so that's her upgrading done. And this little dude. For starters, let's check out what we've got here. Systematic Sense-O-Matic. Place this die along with a bot die from your prep area at its current power in lock slots. At the start of every day, oh, this is useless. We can't do this until we have multiple bots. So we can assign one bot to be a permanent scout, basically. So what else have we got here? Fifth leg. Alternator. That looks really good. Yeah, we'll take Alternator. That allows him to basically generate his own power. And I think we are going to take a second health. He is pretty low on health. Right, so everyone is upgraded. And the final is just to do the recovery. So obviously this guy is definitely going to do a self-recovery. So he gets 5 health. This dude, he's only got 2 health left. I think he is also going to get a recovery. So it's back to 4 health. She is at 3 health, which isn't that great, but instead she's going to try and unlock this thing. Remember, she has got the prying iron. It has 2 uses even, which is excellent. So grab these dice. Boom. We're looking for 2 trip. And we also need 5 force. Just a quick interlude while I'm editing. If you can see that intuition die, the white die, that symbol means that you can re-roll 1 dice. So you re-roll the intuition die and that 1 dice as part of that 1 roll. So I roll that on the first turn, and then I roll it in the second roll as well. So I really stuffed up my unlocking, but it doesn't matter. We'll just keep trucking. So none of that works. So this is the first roll of this attempt. So we get 1 more roll. Boom. Nice. So 2 trip. That is past the 2. And now we need 5 force. And we only have 1 more roll. Come on. This is going to be very, very hard. 3 force is what we're looking for. Yep. Oh, I missed. I missed my roller. Try it again. Yabam! Okay, so that was no good. We've got a lever and another trip. Still, on the plus side, we have cleared the second lock. And this dude is actually going to heal him as well. Takes into 4 health. Bang. Okay. I might just put out his bot health as well for later. And that is the end of that. We have completed the next day. A little bit of disappointment with that getting punched in the face. I think we really need to start working on getting some better tokens, better abilities on here. Maybe like a Cobalt. I think that gives him healing. I think he's doing well. She has finally got a bit of action going on. And he's obviously awesome. I've played with him quite a bit, so I'm a little better with him. Well, that is the end of day 2, and I will see you guys next time.